Ready? You be saying for the stream? Ready? Oh, ready? Yeah, kiss for papas? Kiss for papas? Yeah. Sit down. Assume the position. Assume the position. Oh. Excuse me, that's embarrassing. All right, let's do this. What's good, gamers? What's good? My name is Dr. Ryan Terrell Psych Sensei, and welcome to the stream, baby. If this is your first time coming, welcome to Reading with Ryan. Today, I'll be reading an article talking about time of day, sleep deprivation, and how it affects your impulsivity / risky behavior. So, if you are sleep deprived and wondering why you're losing all your games or doing some things that you don't usually do, I got you. And if you want to learn more about me and what I do, or you want to work with me to fix your sleep schedule, visit my website, psychsensei.com, and there we can get together, find your win condition, start working towards it today. And if you want more resources like my TikTok, my Twitter, my Instagram, my Discord, my LinkedIn, my Facebook, all that stuff can be found at psychsensei.com. But I hope y'all are doing well. I hope we're almost to the weekend, my friends, so I hope you're chilling. I hope everything is going well. And as always, this is a conversation. So if you have something else that you want to talk about, if you have something that you want to discuss, please put it down in the chat. Nothing more I want to do than talk with you. Except if you are eliciting art or want me to buy friends, then maybe not. But hey, I appreciate the hustle. Okay, so let's jump into it, shall we? You know, this one's for my gamers, because all my gamers apparently don't sleep or have a vendetta against sleep. So I was curious, you know, is there actual bad things that happen other than you feeling terrible? Like, does it affect you in other ways? And then I found this article. So today's article is called Time of Day and Sleep Deprivation Effects on Risky Decision Making. This comes from Ruiz Herrera Friedman Hilaire, got that one. Arana Palacios, Zizler, and Duffy. I'm so sorry. I'm doing my best out here. And this comes from Harvard. Yes, Harvard, Boston, Massachusetts. This is in the year 2024, so this is good data. It's recent data. It's really crazy to think, I'll date myself, that everything I learned in college, high school, oh my god, and almost graduate school is like classical data, which is nuts. But so that's why we're here reading that new. I should have made more. All right, here we go. Most neurobehavioral functions, including basic cognitive processes such as executive functions, show both sleep and wake homeostatic, related to the duration of time wake and effects on chronic sleep loss and circadian rhythm variations. Woo. The effects of sleep loss on neurobehavioral functions are related to changes in the brain networks, synapses, and even intrinsic neuronal membrane properties. So basically what this is saying, just off the bat, this is sentence number dose, is that, yo, you don't sleep, it kind of messes your brain up. That's so unlucky. Okay, the effects of sleep loss on neurobehavioral functions are related to changes in brain networks, synapses, and even intrinsic neuronal membrane properties. So basically, again, this means sleep changes your brain. It actually changes your brain. Physically.
Well, here we are, back on the hot, muggy streets.
Easy. That's nuts. These effects can result in negative impacts on many aspects of cognitive performance. Risks to safety due to inattention and long-term risks of both medical and psychological health. Yeah, I mean, there is studies, right? Safety. That tired driving is worse than drunk driving. Fatigue driving is worse than drunk driving. And if that's true, which it is, I wonder if that's also why if you're fatigued playing while you're crashing and burning. Because if you're operating a motor vehicle, you'd also crash and burn. So, don't do that. I guess is the suggestion. Don't do that. Okay. Although there is much evidence to support that sleep loss and circadian disruptions impair alertness and vigilance, the effects of sleep loss and disrupted cardiac rhythmicity, that's a word, rhythmicity, on higher order cognitive processes are less clear. Previous studies concerning executive function, including supervisory control, problem solving, divergent thinking capacity, verbal creativity, flexibility, inhibition, cognitive shifting, and risky decision-making have been carried out to explore whether the time of day or sleep loss impact performance. That's a lot of conditions. I wonder if they did. So they found, so they said executive function as a overarching, but then it was supervisory control, problem solving, divergent thinking capacity, verbal creativity, flexibility, inhibition, cognitive set shifting, and risky decision making. I bet you that all is bad. While some of those studies have reported significant impacts of the time of day on performance regarding decision-making tasks, others have not, suggesting the need for additional studies to clarify whether the time of day, so they're trying to link time of day, not just amount of sleep, time of day impacts executive functions, and furthermore, whether there is a circadian rhythm in performance on specific tasks of executive function. See? The interesting thing too about sleep is some people need like the hours to be perfect. Like I need X number of hours to function really well, while other people I need from X hour to X hour to be functional. So I need to be asleep during the darkest, coldest, quietest time of night to get the most regenerative sleep. So they may want to go to sleep at like 10 to like 5 or 6, you know, and then that's what they really need versus the time of sleep, like the duration. it really depends. It's really interesting. In addition to studies of how executive functioning varies with the time of day, there have been studies on impact of sleep deprivation on decision making, and these have shown inconsistencies. Ooh. In a protocol of 7 nights of sleep restriction followed by 1 night of acute sleep deprivation. Sucks. 40 hours awake. Dude, I wonder how they keep these people awake. Do they splash them with water? Do they like shock them? It's pretty brutal. I would not want to do this study. So, yeah, I would not have studied. I would not have signed up to be deprivated in the sleep because I would have murdered somebody. Well, it be what it be. All right. In another study where Iowa gambling task was used, there was an increased risk in response as the game progressed across 49.5 hours awake. My God. I'm having trouble like staying up for 24 or even like 12. Are people staying up for 49.5 hours? Even my prime, I think I could stay up maybe like 24 hours and then feel, you know, like I need sleep. The author suggests that changes of strategy to more risky decisions after sleep loss was analogous to those seen in participants and patients with lesions to the ventromedial prefrontal lobes. Yo, what the fuck? So what they're saying is that So what they're saying basically through this statement is that like they found that this you are more likely to do risky decisions after sleep loss the same amount if you had lesions in your brain. That's what they're saying right here. This is what they're saying. Okay, so sleep loss / deprivation equals lesion, brain lesion. Same effect as brain AIN lesions. So they're saying ventromedial, so like down middle prefrontal lobes, so like down middle here in the middle. And you know, I don't know. I mean, prefrontal lobes, that's just thinking and stuff, decision making and stuff. So yeah, you need those. Those are important. Don't do that. But that's so funny. I never thought, honestly, that lack of sleep equals brain lesion stuff. But at the same time, it actually changes the entire structure of your brain, which is kind of wild if you think about it. Okay. Similarly, in another study that kept participants awake for 24 hours via cattle prod, that didn't do that, but I'm making it up. The authors observed that choices involving a higher relative risk elicited greater activation in the right nucleus accumbens, an elevated expectation of higher reward once the riskier choice was made. Less sleep, more risk. Higher relative risk activation in this, which means, okay, so increase risk and activation of reward. Maybe, probably not that they actually got the reward, but they were interested in it, right? The same research group reported that 24 hours of being awake invoked a strategy shift during risky decision making, such that participants moved from defending against losses to seeking increased gains. What? The same research group reported that 24 hours of being awake evoked a strategy shift during risky decision making, So that participants move from defending against losses to seeking increased gains. You know, okay, wait. That makes me wonder, though. Is that necessarily a bad thing? Because, I mean, I wonder, you know, from the statement, this one right here, if, like, sure, I think you have full resources, maybe you're playing to not lose, but at a certain point, it switches and say, fuck it, I don't care if I'm going to lose, I'm just going to play the game to try to, like, to more risk. Now, notice, it's not saying effective strategy, it's saying seeking increased gains. So you probably might want to take, like, I don't know, flip more burgers. You might see angles that, you know, seem juicy, but really aren't. But you may just take it because you think you can win, you know? Maybe some ego chows. I don't know. But it's really interesting because, I mean, the other thing I'm thinking about is, okay, there must be a shift between, like, I'm tired and I'm doing risky things to, like, all right, I'm doing more risky things, but that's the correct things because I'm, you know, I don't care as much. So I wonder if this is like a... maybe help? I can put that a question mark here. Maybe help? I don't know. Maybe. Okay. However, another study that used a multi-attribute decision-making task found no difference between sleep deprived and non-sleep deprived subjects. Okay. In summary, there appears to be no consensus on the effect of the time of day and sleep loss on decision tasks. However, study methodologies have differed markedly, and to date, no data have been reported on risky decision making under controlled behavior conditions across acute sleep loss control protocols. Okay. Therefore, the aim of this work was to explore whether there's a circadian rhythm in risky decision making, and through the use of the consistent routine protocol to further explore how acute sleep loss impacts risky decision in a sample of healthy young adults. Okay. All right, so I just want to see. I'm going to skim through this. Okay, 15 healthy adults, 9 men. Oh, look! This is the first study where there's more women than men, but then again, this is not an esports study, so I think that makes sense. Okay, so 21 to 31, prime. Excuse me. Impatient. Wow, they like had to go to like a facility and check in and stuff. Oh no, they got COVID. Yikes. Okay, so COVID. Yikes. Okay, so 13 completed it from 15. Unlucky. Still 8 women, 5 men. Still this. Okay. The BART. Balloon Analog Risk Task. You want to know what that is? The BART. Okay. I want to read this because I want to figure out how they made them stay awake. Okay. In the BART task, the number of mean pumps and balloons popped were significantly across the CR. CR is controlled, right? Here. The constant routine protocol. What is this? What is the task? How many pumps to get to the balloon to fill up without popping it? Is that the thing we're looking at here? Okay. We're looking at PVT, right? PVT is... where is it? Pump. Here. Psychomotor vigilance task. Okay, we're using it. We're really using it. Okay, let's go to the results of the psychomotor visual variation task. Is that what it? Psychomotor vigilance task. Okay. Results of the psychomotor vigilance task revealed that under consistent variation, consistent routine protocol conditions. Vigilance was assessed using RT&E laps of attention. Lapses of attention is remaining available stable throughout the initial 16 hours, which corresponds to the habitual waking day. Okay, so there's no change. No change over 16 hours. 16 hours. No change. Okay. Vigilance then deteriorates during the habitual nighttime hours, reached its worst in the morning just after the usual wake time. Vigilance deteriorates during the habitual nighttime. Is that true? Oh, balloons pop. Does that increase? Fascinating. Okay. After usual wake time, while vigilance subsequence improves over the late night morning and into the afternoon, overall it was worse after missing a night's sleep than during the same hours at the start of CR. Hey. Ooh, okay, so when you wake up, it does improve. Late morning. To afternoon. Improve. Okay, that's good. But then, oh, missed night sleep. Maybe I should write in purple. Maybe that's that. Maybe that's. The results are in agreement with those previously reported, indicating an interaction between circadian rhythm that promotes increased vigilance during the biological day and decreased vigilance during the biological night, and a sleep-wake homeostasis process that degrades vigilance the longer one is awake. You know, honestly, I remember being in bio class, and I remember them teaching about like the sleepy wakefulness stuff, and I thought it was so fascinating that basically your body has your circadian rhythm is like you have all this. What is it? It's not ATP. ACH? I think it's acetylcholine, I believe. Whatever. I think it's acetylcholine. Anyway, basically, when you wake up, your body has less of that. But as the day goes on, you have increased acetylcholine, or that neurotransmitter that builds up. And the more that thing that builds up, the more tired you are. And then when you go to sleep, there's another process that reduces it so you can wake up again. It just, this constant, like, internal, like, almost hourglass thing of, like, energy and neurotrans. It's so fascinating. You know, how your body actually works and how it, like, all comes together. And then the crazy thing is that, like, the fact there is that caffeine doesn't actually reduce your fatigue, but instead it just plugs the hole where acetylcholine is supposed to go, and you just don't experience the fatigue, although you are tired, until it goes away. It pops out the hole, and then it, like, the acetylcholine fills it, and then you get really, really tired. You know what I mean? But it's just fascinating how biologically your body was created and how it all works together, and then, like, you only notice it when it don't work, and it's so wild. I mean, it's wild. All right, enough geeking out about the body. I need to highlight this. This is interesting. Okay, indicating. What is it? Crayon. Indicating. Okay. But I guess the other thing too is, like, okay, to the trained gamer who shifts their sleep schedule later, I wonder if this also affects them. Because I guess you're also shifting your circadian rhythm further backwards too, so I wonder how that would also work. I'm assuming that these people have a regular schedule versus an already flipped schedule like a gamer does, you know? In terms of RT, the performance on the BART and the PVT followed similar trends, becoming significantly slower during usual nighttime and slowing down even more after 19 hours of being awake. Then improved somewhat later in the day. However, the RT on the BART task was more stable across the CR than the RT than was the PVT. Why was the RT on decision-making task appears to be less sensitive on sleep loss than the PVT is not clear. This could be because decision-making improves a more this could be because decision-making involves a more complex process that goes beyond simply reacting to a stimulus. Fair. It requires deeper cognitive evaluations, such as assessing risks and benefits, considering relevant information, and weighing alternative options, any of which could interact with the potential compensate and potentially compensate for the intentional impairment. So, when need more cog resources, attention goes up. I mean, that makes sense to me. If you need more cognitive resources and then you pay more attention, of course. Based on the reinforcement sensitivity theory, I'm learning so much new theories, bro. That's crazy. You hear this one? Reinforcement sensitivity theory. Risky behavior is modulated by sensitivity to reward and punishment. That's a simple theory. Simple theory. In the context of the present study, sensitivity to reward would be translated to the number of pumps, and sensitivity to punishment to rewards, and sensitivity to punishment to balloons popped, losses. Variation in performance across the consistent whatever CR relating to a greater propensity of risk relating to a higher number of pumps were only observed around midday before any sleep loss, and performance variations indicating a lower risk propensity were observed after 29.5 hours awake. These results, these results are inconsistent. These results are inconsistent with previous studies that reported greater propensity after sleep loss. Nevertheless, the methodology difference between these investigations are substantial, including differences in sleep loss protocols, the types of decision-making tasks, and the methods of assessing performance, rendering a comparison of the findings challenging. I don't really like the way that this article is laid out, to be honest, but I think that's just me being nitpicky. But here we is. Nevertheless, the methodological differences between these investigations are substantial, including differences in the sleep loss protocols, the types of decision-making tasks, and the method of assessing performance, rendering a comparison of findings challenging. Sure. In terms of risk propensity during being understood as sensitivity to punishment, the number of balloons popped varied throughout the CR, but did not seem to follow a predictable trend. This could mean that it may not matter what time of day it is, no circadian variability and sensitivity to punishment or loss, or that there is little to no impact of sleep loss on sensitivity to punishment or loss. It don't matter the time of day, sounds like. You know what? You know why maybe that's true? Maybe it doesn't matter the time of day because we're looking at circadian rhythm, which people set themselves. So it's not really technically based on the day or the time. It's more based on the time and how much sleep you had. Maybe that's the takeaways here. Maybe is what I'm thinking. Alternatively, it may be that with sleep loss, the individual loses interest or has a sense of futility towards punishment or loss. I don't care. Whatevers. Maybe when I'm more sleepy, honestly, that also makes sense. Some studies have reported that when the amount of real incentive is increased, decision making and neutral activity may change. In this sense, our results might be explained by the fact that the participants did not experience any real punishment or loss based on their task performance. And if instead they could have realized actual monetary rewards, I mean, who's got money for that, you know? Then their task performance might have differed. Okay, so they're saying there wasn't enough risk for them to perform their best. I mean, yeah, talk about motivation too. That's also really, really important. Wait, that's it? They did an ass backwards study. I didn't like this at all. I wish they did this, the materials and methods, the protocol, the batteries, the data analyst. Like, this is Harvard. I'm not saying that you did bad research, Harvard. And this is a hot take from me, not a Harvard grad. Bro, why did you do it like this? This is, I understand from like a reader's perspective, but from like a scientific perspective, this is so ass backwards. Thank you for your study, by the way. I appreciate it. Really good. But why? Like, this is like a dyslexia dream. Some studies have reported that when the amount of real incentive. Okay, we read this. Okay, finally, when we attempted to replicate the previous reported diurnal variations in risky decision making by comparing non-sleep deprived test sessions, morning versus afternoon, on the BART, we did not find any significant differences between morning and afternoon test performances. Ooh, that's good. That's good, I think. However, our sample 13 was smaller than the previous study sample of 28. I mean, 2 times as small. But hey, I think it's average size. I think it's appropriate. I think it's fine. There's a lot of participants actually. And our own post hoc power analysis indicated that it was insufficient to detect morning versus afternoon differences in performance. I mean, if that's what the numbers say. However, our sample size was sufficient to find circadian effects in the reaction time performances across CR in both PRV, PVT, and BART outcomes. It is also possible that we could not replicate the prior findings because our participants could not realize any actual financial reward related to their performance. Whereas in prior studies, the participants did receive real financial gains associated with the performance on the task. I'm not gonna lie, I remember at University of Oregon, there was like a gambling study I participated in, and the incentive for the study was if you did well against the computer, you actually got as much money as you won in the game. I didn't win any. The computer was good. But that was like, okay, I need to compete, you know? I want this money for for books. There are other limitations in the current study. First sample, okay. Okay. See? This should go in the front, bruh. Wow. 39. How did they stay awake? Ten-hour recovery sleep. Okay, wait. After a 9-hour scheduled sleep episode at their habitual time, the participants woke to a baseline day. During the baseline day, they took the test battery every 2 hours for a total of 7 times. After a second 9-hour scheduled sleep episode during awakening on day 3, the participants began a 39-hour CR. Shit. This consisted of continuous wakefulness in a semi-recumbent posture in bed with a dim light. Oh my god, they're just like slightly reclined, kind of. Oh my god, okay. With the nutrition intake being divided into identically hourly snacks. Oh, that sucks. Just no meals, just snackies? Bruh. It's cruel, unusual, and punishment. Shout out to undergrads, bro. Shout out to undergrads. Shout out to undergrads and graduate students. You make these studies possible, bro. 10-hour recovery sleep. Fuck. They were in there for 5 days, homies. Shit. Okay, this is what I want to see. I felt like I was losing my mind because they're using this acronym, and I was like, where? They had not told me about this study. Okay, so what they did. Okay, push a button when you see something. This one is Inflate the balloon or collect money. Each time the participant inflates the balloon, the monetary compensation increases. There's a high propensity the balloon will pop. The potential reward is lost. Oh, like crash betting now. Okay. I thought it was like a real balloon. But basically, you're filling the money up. You're filling the balloon up with money. If the balloon goes boom, you don't get any money. Sucks. Then we use maths. Okay, in the present study, the RT and decision task was impaired during the morning hours after a night of sleep loss. Risky decision making related to seeking gains peaked during midday and was significantly inhibited by sleep loss after 29 hours awake. Decision-making process related to loss avoidance followed an unstable pattern and did not significantly cross a day with increased sleep loss. Interesting. All right. What this makes me think of I wonder if it's morning or if it's just waking up. So day after sleep loss equals impaired, decision making impaired. Okay. Risky decision making related to seeking gains peaked during midday and was significantly inhibited by sleep loss after. Wait. Was honestly, I don't think they found shit. I mean, this is just interesting. I think for me, how I would use this article if I was a student or if I was a gamer is understanding that if I do experience sleep loss and then try to do the sleep rebound, I'm still gonna feel like shit the next day. And I think what's also really interesting is that it may not be the time of day that makes you make poor decisions. I think it's also depending on how long you've stayed up and where you are in your circadian rhythm that dictates the performance or decision making process that you have. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I think this, because if there isn't any significance about the time of day and that is peaked during midday, I would think that this would also make your midday bad because you're running out of cognitive resources, if that's the thing that we're playing with, right? If it's acetylcholine, that's what I'm thinking about, bro. That's what I'm thinking about. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Interesting article. Not exactly what I thought we were gonna find, which was kind of bleh, but I mean, it be what it be, right? All right. Is there other interesting things we can read? This is also sleep deprivation. I was looking for like sleep deprivation and like I didn't know though, to be honest, that lack of sleep actually changes your brain. That's I mean, that makes sense to me, but I never thought that it would actually change your brain chemistry and your brain shape. That's crazy. Oh, this is an actual, like, article. Okay. About sleep inertia. What is this? This is interesting. Let's read this one for a little bit. Yeah. That's the weirdest thing. How... Okay. All right. Well, let's vibe on this article for a little bit, and then what does that would do? All right, this one. It's called "Postponing Sleep After a Stressful Day: Patterns of Stress, Bedtime Procrastination, and Sleep Outcomes in a Daily Diary." In a daily diary approach. Okay, this is by Schmidt, Batesner, Drabausch, Mertens, and Serverding. It's going from Germany. I wish I could read this article, but that's it. Sad. We all know this. See, like, the thing though that I struggle with is like, bro, everyone knows the badness of sleep. Let's see. This one. Okay, why not? We only have a little bit of time. But I wonder if I play a game kind of finished, to be honest. I don't really want to read anymore. Let's transition, shall we? Let us transition. I don't really feel like reading. I'm how reading. That was very interesting, though. That makes me think a little bit about sleep. All right, I want to play. Let's play a little bit of Kind Words. Let's transition. Fascinating, though. Gotta say, fascinating. Here. Okay. Perfect. All right. Let's jump. All right. Sick. More letters. All right, let's write some letters. Okay, first on the docket. I've been going to school. I should write this. Hey, okay. I've been going to school. Yo, what's good, Joe? What's good, baby? You're here to write some letters after reading some. I know. How you been, baby? Excited to see you this weekend, man. And I hope Valentine's Day was fun too. All right, I've been going to school for 2 years for accounting. I'm about to get my degree, but I don't care for what I'm learning. I feel it. I have something special for you. I hope it's a hug. I hope it's a hug. Because I got that invoice. That was special enough, maybe. And parking is super special, in my opinion. I can't wait to hear the stories. Hint. Ruined my special gift. I don't know. I don't want to go to school anymore, but my dad puts a lot of pressure on me to continue. The stress feels overbearing, and I feel like there's just no hope. Something. Bro. Between you and me, I think this guy's Asian. Yup. It's either accountant, engineer, doctor, or lawyer. I picked psychologist because it's kind of like doctor, but not like the real one. They have to, like, people die and stuff. But I feel that. That's so rough, man. How many of you guys have experienced the existential, oh my god, what am I doing? You know? When you're going to school and you're not really passionate about the thing that you're studying anymore. It's really common. I mean, especially when I was working as, like, a student services counselor or therapist. Like, that's basically a lot of students that, like, I thought I wanted to do this. My parents thought I wanted to do this, but I don't want to do it anymore. And other thing that it made me realize is that, and even when I was in school too, I don't know if you guys experienced this, there was just a pressure to finish in 4 years, or like you have to get this degree and then you're out, you know? But at the same time, time's a construct. You don't have to finish in 4 years. You can change your path. You can go back to school. You can do all this stuff. Education always going to be there, you know? So it's just let some pressure off them, man. But in general, rough. And that sounds hard. Okay. If you could study something that you enjoy, what would it be? Maybe your dad wants you to complete your degree, only knows of the accounting path. If you were going to choose your path, what path would it be? I know you might feel like you have to figure it out now, but time is a construct and you can always take more time to finish your degree, especially if it's one you want. At the end of the day, I hope your dad wants you to like your career. So what do you want to pick? You be selfish. Still have fun? Yes. Yeah, I mean, I think I don't want to speak for all parents, but I feel like most parents want their children to be successful. They want their children to live with them. They want their children to be happy, you know, or at least provide for themselves. And most oftentimes what I find is that, like, parents are trying to do their best from the perspective that they have with the knowledge that they know, you know? So, I mean, if all parents know is here's a path to a job that is accounting, and it makes good money and you're not going to starve, you know, and I've seen other people that have this job take it. Maybe that's all they know. And maybe that's why they want to push you so hard to do the accounting thing. You know, at the same time, if you were going to pick your path, what would it be? Because, you know, honestly, your job, I think, is something you should be super selfish in. I think your partner, or picking your partner who you want to be with, is something you need to be super selfish in. You know, these are things that only you need to do. Your job, the house that you come home to, you know, the people that you come back to, like, that's your life. And so I think your dad, or this dad, would be happy knowing that you're healthy and you're also happy and you're have enough to survive. It may not be accounting, because I don't know what parent would be like, you're accountant now. You only do accounting, you know? So if you could pick something, what would it be? That's the premise of this. Because you're going to do your job for like 8 hours a day. For how many hours a day, you know? So you picking something that you could bear and do and enjoy, God forbid, for 8 hours a day, I think is really important. So think about it. So I said, they said, I've been going to school for 2 years for accounting. I'm about to get my degree, but I don't care what I'm learning. Fair. Unless it's taxes, then help me. I don't want to go to school anymore, but my dad puts a lot of pressure on me to continue. The stress feels overbearing, and I feel like there's no hope sometimes. I think is what they want. So I got, man, that sounds hard. If you could study something you enjoy, what would it be? Maybe your dad wants you to complete your degree, but he only knows of the accounting path. If you're going to choose your path, what path would it be? You know, you might, I know you might feel like you have to figure it out now, but time is a construct and can always take more time to finish your degree, especially if it's something you want, especially if it's one you want. At the end of the day, I hope your dad wants you to like your, at the end of the day, I hope your dad wants you to like your career. Be selfish. Good luck. Have fun. Yeah, I mean, I hope your dad wants you to like your career. If not, we got bigger problems. You know what I mean? Okay. I'm just tired of everything. Everything takes too much effort to find joy in. Bruh. World is good. I just feel numb watching TVs, movies. Everything feels pointless. I kind of want to write back and troll and be like, don't look at TikTok and Instagram, and especially X, bro. I think there's bigger things going on for this person, you know? Like, yeah. Just gonna, sorry, man. All right. Does anyone know what this belongs to? Whenever you are tired, the brain can't help but count the number of strokes in a word. Riding outside will pay attention to the color of other people's helmets and force yourself to write it down. When you are tired, I mean, what they're essentially doing is a grounding exercise. You know, this grounding exercise, I think it's the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But you can also pick a color. You can also pick a thing. How many helmets can I find? How many red cars do I see? How many things that are red can I find? You know, if you play this game with yourself, if you're feeling anxious or whatever, it really helps you shift your attention to whatever you're trying to look for. So I would say that that's kind of like a grounding exercise. Oh my God, Ultralist, what's good, baby? Thanks for having some friends that come over too. I hope you are gonna go to sleep and it's like not 4 o'clock in Germany or whatever. Or hope you, the games are good, bro. Hope the games are all right. I miss you. Yeah, I think this is a stimulus thing they're looking for. And also, I feel like they want us to write more, but it's 2 letters. So I think it's going to be right here. Nope. It's 3 a.m. Brother. You know, you missed it. Okay? You missed it, but we also talked about, we just read an article about sleep deprivation and decision-making and impulsivity. And if you can imagine, less sleep you have, the worse it gets. But did you know from that article, since it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and your friends also might be at 3 o'clock in the morning, did you also know that sleep deprivation and lack of sleep also changes not only how you feel, but also the anatomy of your brain and connections of neurons and synapses and shit. I didn't know that. I just felt that it made me feel bad, but it actually rewires your brain. So, I don't know if you should go to sleep right now, but think about it. You know, bad sleep or less sleep actually does rewire your brain. But also, the interesting fact of the thing was your circadian rhythm isn't dependent on the time of day. It's just like what time of day that you rewire yourself to go to sleep. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. But yeah, this is your PSA to go sleep. Okay. My housemate is friends with someone who badly traumatized me and ruined one of my close relationships. She knows multiple people despite this girl, and she even used to dislike her. I can't wait for uni to end, lol. I mean, the thing I really want to say is got to live with your friends and it was a walkable campus, you know, and everything you could like get your clothes and your food and talk to your friends and still go home, you know, and have dinner. But the shitty thing about university was not being able to pick sometimes who you lived with and having to deal with all those junk people. That kind of sucked, but hey, I think the advice I'd give her is like kind of junk, so I was gonna. All right, there's this girl in my class who started shit in a group project, bruh. Today, when my group was having trouble with our plans, she's reading ours and whispering, and it was like, and it felt like she was making fun of us. It's so high, but it made me feel stupid. You know, I've heard a funny quote once. It says that if people are talking about you, it's because they can't be with you. I was like, dang, I never thought of it like that. Like, if someone's talking shit about you, they're just talking shit about you because A, they're paying attention to you and they're not cool enough or have the ability to be close enough to you to actually have a conversation, you know? So, the interesting thing though, I think if you ever have this experience of people talking shit about you or even trolls getting to you, you know, the really interesting thing that I like to think about too is why, you know, why does this thing get to you? Why is this troll or this person, when, you know, they're saying it feels like they're making fun of us, like, why does that get to you? Do you believe the thing that that person is saying? Does it make you feel bad because there is a little bit of truth in it? And then if so, why are you believing in that truth? Why are you even paying attention to this person that shit you doesn't even matter to you? Because you're even saying that they started, you know, shit in your group. So like, why do they matter? You know, they must not be your friend or close to you, that, you know, they don't deserve, or it doesn't sound like they should have any of your heart and mind space, you know? So just questions. But for you, chat, like, what makes you listen to trolls and shit and believe what they're saying, you know? And dude, that person sounds super rude. Rude. I heard once though that if someone is talking about you, to you, this is true. Why do you think this person's words hold so much weight? Also, if this person isn't kind to you, why? What makes what? What makes what they say so valuable? If this person, lastly, if you wouldn't take advice from this person, why would you take their critical? Just some thoughts. Yes. Yep. Honestly, like, that also changed my perspective on some things too. When I heard someone say, if you wouldn't take advice for this person, why would you take their abuse? Or like, why would you take what they say serious? Or why would you believe what they say about you if you wouldn't listen to their advice? Or if you wouldn't come to them for advice, you know? So, I don't know if it's getting older and not caring as much as what people say. Or like, whatever. You know, maybe that comes with time and trauma and stuff like that. But take some words of wisdom, my friends. Like, why is this person and what they're saying so valuable to you if they don't matter to you? You know? So, this person writes, this girl in my class who started shit in my group project was in my, this girl in my class who started shit in a group project I was in last semester, period. Today, when my group's having trouble with our plan, she's reading ours and whispering, and it feels like she's making fun of us. It's so high, but I feel like it made me feel stupid. So high. So high. I thought like that'd be a cool phrase, but it's like not cool, you know? Okay. Dude, that person sounds super rude. I heard once though that if someone's talking about you, they aren't ever close enough to talk to you. If this is true, why do you think this person's words hold so much weight? Also, if this person isn't kind to you, well, what makes what they say so valuable to you? Lastly, if you wouldn't take advice from this person, why would you take the critical? Just some thoughts. Oh, I didn't give him a freaking sticker. Have a banana. Yeah, man. I think that's rough. You know, I think it's really interesting how when you're really little or like 7th grade, high school, you really want to fit in. And I saw this like comedian that was like saying like, oh man, those kids are like the worst because like you go to school and they're like little robots. They're like, that's different about you. You have a big forehead. And like, that's what they like really go on. You got a weird hand. I don't like your freckles. You know, like I don't know what happens between middle school and high school where you really want to just be accepted and you really want to just be cool, you know, and your vision just locks on to differences in people. And then as you go through college and you graduate from college, grad school or whatever, like, you just don't care. You know, you just don't care. And I wonder how, I'm sure I could think about how I got there, but just a little bit of fucking in your system helps. You know, just a little bit of fucking. And I think maybe I heard another theory too, where everything feels so intense and so like real in high school because that's the first time, or college even, that's the first time you've ever experienced any of these things. And then as soon as you go through more experiences, it's like, whatever. You know, for example, your first boyfriend, your first girlfriend, your first friend group, your first failures, your first successes, your first, like, you know, all these things you're going through for the first time. And then as you continue to go through them, they're not as special, you know, and they're not as like, maybe. Just a thought. Bipolar BF is abroad for the semester and he worries he doesn't do enough for me. His past relationship failed because of that. I have told him I love him as he is, but he's so hard on himself. Suggestions? This is a you thing. That's not a you. No, sorry. What I mean is like, I feel like it's therapy for your boyfriend. Maybe couples therapy for you and him. Because I mean, I'm not gonna write any of this, but between you and me, chat, like, you as the partner, this writer, can only do so much to reassure this person with bipolar that they're there for them and they love them. You know what I mean? And what makes this challenging is that probably a boyfriend who has bipolar has a warped sense of relationships, has a warped sense of their relationship because of his past relationships, probably, you know? So therapy, and that's a him thing. And I mean, there's only so much you can do. Because I wonder for him what he thinks being enough is, you know, or if someone says, hey, this is what I want, and he's able to give it to him and that's it, does he need to do more, you know? Because I think sometimes relationships are kind of like finding a good restaurant, or like being hungry for something and then finding it and then eating it and then being satisfied in it. You know, like, for example, like, okay, the other day this happened to me. Like, I really had the onos for like Mexican food, for like Alberto's, just drive-in, clamshell, dirty Mexican food. You know, just a lot of just bad for you Mexican food, like a beef burrito. What mine orders at number 16. It's a beef burrito with an enchilada, with Spanish rice, the sauce, and enchilada sauce and beans. Like, that's what I wanted. And it just, oh, let me tell you, that shit slapped. You know, I don't know what chef was back there, but let me tell you, that guy was cranking. He was cooking. Delicious. But here's the thing. You know, after you have that your favorite meal, and sure, you think of your favorite food, right? Think of your favorite food, and there's this thing called diminishing returns. I learned about in business, but it also applies to food. Diminishing returns is kind of like when you have so much of something, it's not good anymore. Like, for example, I ate all that Mexican food and I was like, oh, I'm Mexican heaven, right? But then if someone's like, Ryan, here's another like round of Mexican food, I'd be like, oh my God, that's so good. And you eat some more, and then you get to that point where you can't eat anymore because it's just painful. That's diminishing returns. You know what I mean? Where it's you like it, you like the flavor, but you just have so much of it that it's like, oh my God, I'm gonna throw up. That's bad, right? And I feel like relationships can also work like that, where someone's saying, I really like this thing, that this is all I want, and you give it, someone's able to meet that need, and then just keeps going. It's like, whoa. I only wanted this much, and now it's just too much. And the other person's like, oh my God, you don't like me? This is too much. It's like, no, I love you. This is just, I just wanted this little bit, and you're giving me so much, you know? So that's why I'm saying for this post, I think it would be, listen, I think your boyfriend needs some therapy to understand his perspective, what he perceives is happening versus what is realistically happening. What you know, couples counseling, maybe to discuss your needs and being okay with getting those things for each other and what that looks like. Because I think if you continue down this road, it may not be that great because he may not believe you. So how can we hamper his expectations to something more realistic so he can give you what you want? But I'm like, I feel really bad thing. You should go to therapy. So just between you and me, I wish I could read these fancy letters, but unlucko. All right. I've been working for almost a year with my job. While I'm not a fan of the new weekly pay, I'm glad to get my money in my pocket and save what I can. However, I find it hard to do things I enjoy, such as be with my friends and such. Working 10 hours a day is tiring, man. Bruh. I mean, yeah. I feel like this person also might do the revenge sleep, where they're working for 10 hours, they come home, they haven't done anything they wanted to, and then they stay up later, and it's kind of a vicious cycle. I feel like this is going to be the story of America, though, honestly, man. I feel like this is where America's heading, and I'm kind of sad, but I have nothing to say. Nope. Nope. I mean, make friends with spirits, right? I mean, is this the same person? The tarot it is, you will see two of the same thing. I don't know. I thought tarot was something like you do, and like you're attuned to the spirits, you know, and that's what you kind of do, but maybe not. I don't know. If you're a tarot reader, someone is asking for tutoring in tarot. I had a 5-day work vacation. I bet you feel great. And then the first morning I meant to go back to work, I hit my head stupidly, and now I have a minor concussion. Dude, you did that on purpose. You don't want to go back to work. Don't lie. I know I should be off screens, but I feel I'm such a klutz. You did this on purpose. I feel Oh my god. Bro, maybe you should stay home from work. You submitted twice. Stay home. Yeah, that's so weird. Okay. Well, my BFF now have a BF and doesn't know anything with me and my other BFF. What? It makes me sad because we were so close and she talk about him every time. This guy tried to get closer to me and he thinks we can be friends, but it's really strange feelings. Wait. Okay. Well, my best friend, my boyfriend's friend, now has a boyfriend. Okay, I don't know. I don't know if this is my best friend forever, or if this is my best friend. If this is my best friend. Banned. Okay. I don't know if this is my best friend forever. Help me, chat. Or if this is my boyfriend's friend. Okay, let's play it out. My boyfriend's friends now have a boyfriend that maybe female friend and anyway, okay, they have a boyfriend and doesn't do anything with me and my other boyfriend's friend. It makes me sad because we were so close and she talked about him every time. Okay, this guy trying to get closer to me and he thinks we can be friends. And it's a strange feeling. What? Okay. I'm exhausted and poor. Oh my god, I feel like that's the quote of the year. Okay. I love my job. I feel like I messed with this one. I love my job. It's what I always wanted to do. But I feel like I took too many projects this year. Unlucky. It's already full of deadlines. Sucks. And on top of that, it doesn't pay enough. I'm exhausted and poor. I feel like this is a quote for everyone. I'm exhausted and poor. I love it, but I hate it. Okay, I think I got this one. I think we might end on this one. How passive I am. Sometimes, I am, oh, sorry, I read this wrong. I hate how passive I am sometimes and how people take advantage of it. Oof. Bro, I feel this. The times I do speak up, I'm too intense. Because you probably explode. You probably got stepped on so long and you're like, I'm sick and tired of shit. And boom, right? Or like, you're so tired and this is your response. I feel that. I keep a calm tone and it's always with good intention, but people really don't handle feedback well / bluntness. I wish others weren't so selfish / sensitive. Okay, here's the thing, girl, listen. Or guy, listen. Although people, and chat, you let me know if this is true too. And if you say, I want feedback bluntly, I want it just as it, you don't want that. You don't want feedback bluntly. You don't want people to tell you as it is. You don't want that. You think you want that. But I'm gonna tell you, you don't want that, because when it happens, you think, wow, this person's a freaking jerk. Why are they telling me things like this? Or wow, they're telling me such in like a harsh tone. Why are they doing it? No one likes it like that. Okay, and if you say you do, you don't. And that's okay that you don't. No one does. You know? Starts with, I hate how passive I am, and sometimes people take advantage of it. Hey, at the same time, when you're sick and tired of it, you're too intense. You know, so there's an interesting interplay of like, I'm too passive, too passive, too passive, too intense. I wonder what the middle looks like, you know? And so I wonder too, they're able to keep the tone, but the words are just like, I mean, if you're just better at your job, everything would be great. You know, tone great, message kind of shit, you know? Like everything, I mean, this job would have been awesome if Karen just, you know, did her job. Again, tone is fine. Words are shit. So I feel like that this person's got a lot of stuff going on. But just for you, if you ever say, because it happens all the time with teams and players, just tell it to me straight. I like it when people are blunt. No, you don't. Shut up. You don't. You don't like it. You like when people are real with you, and you like it when people tell you what's wrong, but you don't like it when people are blunt. Stop that. You don't. All right. Let's see what we got here. I wonder. That is very interesting. I wonder if you come off too intense because when you finally stand up for yourself, you are your wits end and you don't know how to don't know how to put it more lightly. See, it's with good intention. Like, I'm gonna tell you that you shit your job, but you know, it's not me that's bad. It's you just can't take the bluntness. I wonder, um, I wonder how people are taking your bluntness and the words you choose to use with them. How would it be different if you tried what? Using different words? Tried. Okay, okay, maybe we'll ask a question. I'm curious how you would receive your own feedback if people gave it to you in a similar manner. When after a long day. A long day when you're tired. Perhaps we can consider when you're tired. Maybe that could help you better connect with them. Good luck, have fun. Yes. Yeah, I'm thinking like if it's too intense, I'm thinking the words and the tone doesn't match. Especially if you're like, people can't handle my bluntness. I mean, I think that's the thing with feedback. Don't get me wrong. I think feedback, there's a two-way street to that bad boy, you know? Like there's one, like the delivery of feedback and then the receiving of feedback, as in, you know, communication is like giving and receiving. And I think it's sometimes more on the onus of the communicator. If you're giving feedback to somebody, that you tell them in a way that they can understand. And I also think it's on the receiver to be open and honest to the to the talker, to the person, to provide them with your preferences of how you would like to receive said feedback. You know, so I do think that it is a two-way street. But this is what we got. Got, hey, I hate how passive I am sometimes and how people take advantage of it. The times when I do speak up, I'm too intense. I keep a calm tone and it's always with good intention, but people really don't handle feedback well. Bluntness. Feedback with bluntness. I wish others weren't so selfish / sensitive. All right, so I said, that's very interesting. I wonder how you come off. I wonder if you come off as too intense because you finally stand up for yourself when you are at your wit's end and you don't know how to put it more lightly. I wonder how people are taking your bluntness and the words you choose to use with them. I'm curious how you would receive your own feedback if people gave it to you in a similar manner after a long day and when you're tired. Because I'm thinking that these people are also tired. They're doing their job. You know, they may not be hearing you. They may not have full cognitive resources. You know what I mean? Maybe that could help you better connect with them. Good luck. Have fun. Yes. Have a banana. All right. Wow. Again, the letters that come through are kind of. I feel like kind words 2. I'm not saying that kind words 1 the letters weren't intense, but I feel like with kind words 2 they kind of like took a leap. You know, they kind of took a leap. All right. Well, I'd say that's for it today. I have to eat a little snacky and get ready for a session tonight, or an intake session. So I want to make sure that I have some time for that. But thanks for coming tonight. Thanks for reading the article with me and learning how sleep can affect your brain and your decision making and circadian rhythm, those types of things. I think is really cool and interesting. And also, thanks for coming to hang out and talk stories on the kind words. I hope we got to be good people and helped you out a little bit, or answer some questions, or at least got to hang out with me here tonight. So thanks. Also, shout out to Joe Jacko. What's up, Joe? Thanks for coming. Super stoked to see you. Excited for the surprise. Thank you, Ultralisk, as always. Now that it's closer to 3:30, gang, go to sleep. Please go to sleep. And also, Ultralisk's friends, thanks for coming. Thanks for the raid, Ultralisk. Yeah, had a really good time. If you want to learn more about me and what I do, please visit my website, psychsensei.com. Or if you're feeling generous, you know, give me a follow on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I think those are the big ones. YouTube, whatever. Give me a follow there or subscribe and never miss any of my content. And if you want to work with me personally to, you know, better your sleep, work to your win condition, visit my website, psychsensei.com, fill out a free consultation form, and you and I can sit down and figure out where you want to go, how to get there, and make a plan. But I'll be back next week, Tuesday. I've been trying to stick to Tuesday, Thursdays, and maybe a surprise stream on Sunday. We'll see. But I'll see you on next week, Tuesday for sure. 5 p.m. PST, 8 p.m. EST, and I guess 3 o'clock in the morning for Germany. Our friends, please be safe. Please be warm. Give your loved ones a hug. And remember, stronger mental wins. Pieces.